Hi friends, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. Ashish here, and today I'll be covering a Sudoku variant called Sum-Frame Sudoku. Now this Sudoku is constructed by Akash Doulani, and I really thank the author for giving me an opportunity to cover a video on our channel. So this Sudoku is featured in the recent book of Akash, book by Akash, that is called World of Sudoku Volume 6. So there are 5 volumes already published, and this is the 6th volume just is recently published, and this is one of the Sudoku variant inside the book. So there are many Sudoku variants like arrow, thermo, irregular, shift Sudoku, roll Sudoku, and tight fit Sudoku, and crop key Sudoku, consecutive pair Sudoku, and many more. So if you are really looking forward to such Sudoku variants purely handcrafted, I would highly recommend you to check out Akash's book, and not only this one, but I would say all the other volumes as well. All the other volumes he has received an excellent feedback for all the Sudoku books, and all the Sudokus are actually handcrafted, purely handcrafted. You can actually trust what I am saying, because I have solved those Sudokus, and I must say that they are really of excellent quality. So if you are really looking forward to such Sudoku variants, I'll add the link in the description below for the online purchase. There are 2 or 3 ways you can purchase the book. I'll add all the link in the description below. Have a look at this Sudoku book. You will really enjoy it. Right. So this is one of the Sudoku variant that is in the book, featured in the book Sum-Frame Sudoku. And before going to the Sudoku, I would highly recommend you to please subscribe to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles if you haven't done so. It will really motivate us to cover videos on daily basis. And if at all you have a request for any Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, do let us know in the comment below, and we'll surely make a video on it. And now coming back to this Sudoku now. So as I said just a second. So as I said, this Sudoku is called the Sum-Frame Sudoku. So what are the rules? Let me explain you. So classic Sudoku rules apply. You need to place digits from 1 to 9 in each row, each column, and 3 into 3 box without repetition. Apart from that, you have some digits outside the grid, right? So the digits indicate the sum of the first 3 cells in that row or column, in the particular row or column in that direction. So if you have a 22 here, the sum of these 3 cells is 22. If you have a 8 here, the sum of these 3 cells is 8. If you have a 15 here, sum of these 3 cells is 15. So nothing but it's just a 3 cell cage. So it's kind of a killer Sudoku, but with only 3 cells and first 3 cells, right? So that is what the rule says, and with that we should be able to solve solve this Sudoku. So I really love the theme here, just the top right and the bottom left of clues, and just the 1 and 6 here, that makes this Sudoku unique. Excellent, right? Let's see if we are able to solve this one. And there are a few tricks and tips that I would like you to know regarding this Sudoku. And just a second, first I will mark the Sudoku this thing. I haven't done that. Okay, so what I was saying about the tricks and tips is, so the first thing is, of course, you need to see the killer cages, just like the outside numbers, and just make sure that what all numbers will come, what are the possibilities of the numbers coming in that particular row or column. The other thing is sum of 45. You know that 1 to 9, right? Sum of every row or a column or a box is always 45. So if you have 7 and 21 with these 6 cells, so this cell would have to be 7, right? Again, oh sorry, 17, I'm sorry, it's 28, right? So this would have to be 17. The sum of these 2 numbers would have to be, I mean to say, sum of these 3 numbers would have to be 17. 10 plus 5 is 15, so the sum of these 3 numbers would have to be 20. I cannot write 20, that's bad. Okay, let us leave that for now. That is the most important thing that you should do, or you should make sure that you get to know all of these things, right? So like for some of these 3 digits is 15, some of these 3 digits is 21, so the remaining sum of these 3 digits would have to be 9. Same way, if some of these 3 digits is 8, some of these 3 digits is 23, then some of these 3 digits would have to be 14. Because 23 plus 8 is 31, and the remaining sum would have to be 14, that is 45 minus 31 is 14. That is the most important thing. And apart from that, it's just basic math calculations, and you'll be able to solve this Sudoku easily. So let us see. You have a 23 here. 23 with these with 3 digits will always be 6, 8 and 9. 7 with 3 digits would always be 1, 2 and 4. 22 will always have a 9. You have to keep that in mind. 22 will always have a 9. 7 is nothing but 1, 2 and 4. 8 will always have a 1. 8 will always have a 1. So which means you need to have 1 in one of these 3 cells for this 8, and you need to have 8 in one of these 3 cells for this 8. Which means this cell would have to be a 1. You need to have 1. I mean to say you need to have 1 in one of these 3 cells, right? So 1 would have to be here. 9 can never be on an 8 sum. So 8 always you'll have a 1 in the 8. Remaining are 3, 5 and 7 in any order. 6, 8, 9, 1, 2, 4 and 3, 5, 7. Okay, now seeing the 22 here and the 8 here, the combination of 8 and 22 will help you solve the Sudoku further. What is the maximum digit for the 8 and the minimum digit for the 21 for both the sums to be fulfilled? The maximum digit that you can get in an 8 with the 3 cell is 5, right? And the minimum digit you can get for a 22 sum in a 3 cell is 5, which means this cell would have to be a 5. So the remaining is 2 here. These two cells are 22 minus 5 is 17, so that is 9 and 8, right? 24 is always 7, 8 and 9. I missed that. I didn't see that as well. So 7 would have to be in one of these 2 cells. 7 plus 2 is 9. Remaining is 6. Because 2 plus 7 plus 6 would give you 15. 6 would have to be in one of these 2 cells. So if you have a 6 here, this is a 6, this is a 7. And when you have a 7 here, and if you have an 18 sum, the remaining sum is 11. If you have 8, that would be 3. If you have 9, that would be 2. 2 is already here, so that would be 8 and 3, 9 and 4 is the remaining one. So 4 plus 9 plus 6 is 19, 8 is 152, 18 is 387. That's nice. 1 and 4 would give you a 2 here, removes 2 from these 2 cells. This one would give you a 4 here and a 1 here. So we are done with these numbers already. These all are already done, right? These 2's are 5 and 6 in any order, right? 9 and 8, 7 and 3, 2, 4 and 6. These 2 are 3 and 5. Okay. This one would eliminate 1 from this cell. 11 can never have a 9 with the 3 cell sum, because then you will have 2 sum remaining with 2 cells. 11 can have an 8 here. That would be 1 and 2 is the remaining one, but none of these cells 1 and 2, because you already have 1 here, so that would have to be 6. Remove 6 from these 2 cells. You need 5 more. Some of these 2 cells would have to be 5, so this will only be 3 and the remaining would be 2. So you eliminate 3 and 2 from these cells. This 6 will give you an 8 and 9. This 6 and 2 will give you a 4 here. Removes 4 from these 2 cells, right? Okay. 5 in one of these 2 cells would be here. 18. The next logic I see here is 18 with 1. If you have 1 in 18, these 2 cells would have to be 8 and 9, because the remaining sum is 17 with 2 cells remaining, that can only be 8 and 9. You already have 8 and 9 here, but you have 5 and 7 here. Not possible, so this would have to be 4 and 1. For the 18, you have 14 remaining, right? When 4 is gone, you have 14 remaining. That is 8 and 6 or 9 and 5. You cannot have 8 here because you don't have a 6 here. For the 14, that would be 9 and 5, 7 and 8. 7 and 8 would give you a 9 here. This 9 should give you a 9 here. And this 8 would give you a 8 and a 6 here. And this 8 would give you a 8 and a 7 here. This 5 should give you a 3 and a 5 here. These 2 cells are 5 and 7 in any order, right? Can you have 3 in 21? 3 in 21 is not possible because the remaining sum would be 18 with 2 cells, not possible. So this would have to be 7 and a 3 here. That 7 gives you a remaining of 14. The 3 also gives you a remaining of 14. So one thing is that whenever you have such scenario where the remaining sum in both the rows is same and you have pencil marks in both of these rows, never try to go and waste your time with applying the possibilities, because whatever be the case, you'll have only two possibilities. Either it will be 9 and 5 or 8 and 6. So 9 and 5 or 8 and 6, and both the ways the sum is always getting fulfilled. So whenever you have such case that you have two sums, same sums remaining, you have 14 here remaining if you eliminate 7, and you have 14 here remaining if you have eliminate 3, and you have pencil marks exactly the same, 5 6 5 6 8 and 8 9, then don't try to waste your time in finding the possibilities of 21 and 17, because you'll always end up with two possibilities and that will actually waste your time. So that is the most important thing while solving in a competition. One in one of these two cells. Okay, if you have a 1 here, the remaining would have to be 11. 9 2 is not possible, 8 3 is not possible, 7 4 is possible. Okay, 7 is 4 is possible. If you don't have a 1 here, anything is possible. Oh, you have a 6 here, that is 2 and 6 here. Oh, come on. You have 1 and 2 here, and you have 3 and 4 here, guys. Okay, 9 cannot be here, 9 cannot be here. 9 would have to be in one of these three cells. If you have 2 here, you need 10, that is 7 and 3 possible. If you have 1 here, you have 7 and 4 possible. If you have 5 here, can you get 7 here? So 5 cannot be here, because if you have a 5 here, you need to have 7 as the sum, remaining sum, not possible, right? Okay, so this would have to be 7, this would have to be 5. If you have a 9 here, you cannot have 8 here, because then the third value would have to be 5. So 8 is not possible in these three cells, right? Because we know that 22 will always have a 9 when you have 3 cells. So in a Sum-Frame Sudoku, 22, if you have a 22 outside the grid, then make sure that 9 will have to be in one of these three cells in that particular direction, right? So if you have an 8 with the 9, you will have 17 as the sum, and the remaining sum would have to be 5 more. So you cannot have a 5 because you already have 5 here. So 8 cannot be in these three cells, 8 cannot be here, 8 would have to be in one of these two cells. So 8 and 8 here, so 8 would have to be in one of these three cells. Without the 8, you have only one possible way, that is 9 7 and 6. 9 6 and 7, so which means 6 and 9 is here, that would have to be 7 here, seven here, 7 here, 7 cannot be here, so 7 in one of these two cells. Okay, 6 here, 6 here, 6 is in one of these two cells. Okay, it can be anywhere. Okay, you cannot have a 9 here, cannot have a 9, you cannot have 9 in the 10 sum, right? If you, okay, nothing with that for now. 6 would have to be in one of these three cells. So if you have a 6 in the 10 sum, the remaining two cells would have to be 1 and 3. 3 is not here, so 3 is already here, so 3 cannot be here, so 6 cannot be in one of these two cells. So 6 is done. 7 21. Okay, 21 plus 15 gives you 36, so you will have 9 in one of these three cells. 9, the sum would have to be 9, so 8 and 9 cannot be here, so 8 is in one of these two cells, 7 here and 9 here. For the 11, can have anything. Oh, for the 8, come on, I would have done that. because there are only two possibilities of 8. I could have done this actually. There are only two possibilities for the 8, right? Either 125 or 134. Now having 125 in the same row, you cannot have 125 here, because what will you have here? So that has to be 134. That's awesome. 134, 679, 825. So 2 and 5 is here. This cell would have to be 8. These two cells are 2 and 5 in any order. That 2 and 5 gives you a 1 here, 2 here. 1 and 7 is 8. You need 12. So this has to be 4 and that has to be 3. Okay, 1, 3, 4, 9, 6, 8, 2, 7 and 5. 2 is already here. So this would have to be 5 and 7, 2 and 5, 2, 7 and 5. 8, 1 and 4. So this would have to be an 8. You need 1 and 4 in any order. And that is 9, 3 and 6. Not sure where, right? You know that 8 cannot be in any of these three cells. 8 will never be in a 10 sum, because of course not possible. So 8 would have to be in one of these three cells. You have an 8 in these two cells, that gives you a 9 here, 8 here, that gives you a 6 here and a 5 here. That 5 gives you a 2 here. When you have 8 in the 15 sum, remaining is 7, that is 6 and 1, 5 and 2, 4 and 3. 5 and 2 is not possible, 6 and 1 or 4 and 3. Okay. 7 cannot be on the 15 sum, of course, because you already have a 7 here. That was not helping me. This cannot be 1, this cannot be 4, this cannot be 3. 6 and 9 in any order, 3, 1, 4 in any order, 2, 5 in any order. Come on. You need 9, right? The middle would have to be 9. So already 2 is gone, you need 7 more. So it is either 1 or 6, 4 and a 3 here. 3, 6 and 9. So this cell would have to be a 9. This is 3 and 6 because of the 6 and 3. 9 cannot be here. 9 cannot be here in the 15 sum because you already have 8 in it. 9 would have to be here. And the sum of these three cells is nothing but 20. 15 plus 10 is 25. So the remaining is 20. When you have a 9 here, you need 11 more. You cannot have a 7 in the 11 because you already have a 4 here. That is awesome. That is an excellent piece of logic here. 9 and 7 cannot be in the 20 sum because you need the third digit as 4 and you already have a 4 in that row. So 7 cannot be here, 7 cannot be here, 7 would have to be here. That means 10 would have to be 1, 2 and 7. 1 and 2 is already here. This is 7. You eliminate 7 from these two cells. That is 4 and a 1 here. That gives you 5 and a 7 here. That gives you 3 here. 6. Oh no. Why? How did I mark this? Oh, this would have to be 3, 6 this way. I just removed that. So we know that 9 would have to be here. 7, 1, 2, 4. 7 would have to be here. That is 4, 1, 5, 7. 9 is the sum. So this would have to be 6 and 3. That is 6 here. You remove 6 from this cell. 9 is in one of these two cells. You have a 9 here. So this cell is a 9. 8, 3 and 4. 3, 4 and 8. So which means this would have to be a 5. 1, 2, 7. So this is a 7 here. You eliminate 8 from this cell, 4 from this cell, 3 from this cell. 7 is in 11 sum. So the remaining two digits would have to be 1 and 3 to get the 11 sum. So this is 4, this is 2, 1, 8 and 3. So this is 2 and 4. 4 and 2, that gives you 3, 1 and 4. That gives you 5 and a 2. That gives you 3, 1 and a 7. That gives you 9 and a 6. That gives you 9, 5 and 8. Am I right here? Right? Yeah. I was just thinking why I didn't get the answer checking enabled. I mean to say, why the answer check was not working. I had to remove the 17. That is awesome. What an excellent piece of logic that was. and I highly recommend you, if you are really looking forward to such Sudokus, do purchase Akash's book. You will really enjoy this and you will never regret purchasing that. I'm 100% sure, I guarantee you that you will never regret purchasing those books. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Do like and comment if you want us to solve any other Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.